Alright, so this is going to be about the sway bar end links on the Dodge Charger, Challenger, Magnum, the LXLC cars basically. And this is also referencing the thread I created and a reply by Charlie Tatum. So, Mr. Tatum, I'm assuming this is from a service manual. And this does not match what I found on my Charger and my two Challengers. The drawing from your post, the end link has, it looks like a backing stud or a stud here behind where it mounts to the sway bar, where you would put a wrench to hold the stud while you hit the 21 millimeter wrench with your impact or whatever. And that's fine. That's actually the design of the newer end links that I got from Napa, the reason why I created the thread in the first place. But this is not what I found on any of my Chargers or Challengers. What they've had, it lacks that nut behind the, I'm gonna pretend this is the sway bar. This is obviously the strut end link. The only way to get this thing loose is to hold the 21 millimeter nut and hit the 10 millimeter stud. There's nothing back here to put a wrench on, as you can see. I don't know why. That manual, maybe in 2015 or something, they started putting end links that had an 18 millimeter stud back here, or nut back there. But they certainly weren't on my 2010, 11, or 12. They're not like that from the factory. So, and also, I actually just bought one, and they're not all of them are like that. I mean, this one is the OE style. So the sway bar would be right here, and as you can see, there's nothing to put a wrench on back here. You've got to go at this thing using a nut and a 10 millimeter on the stud, and that's where my position is. That's where you run into problems. This design, it's not a good one, because you end up with a rounded off stud like this after repeated removal and reinstallation. Not to mention the trying to torque that to 96 foot-pounds is under the car. It's just terrible. Anyway, so the one that I got, the Napa Proformer, the reason I liked it so much, and these are the pictures from that same post of mine. The reason I liked it so much is it does have, kind of like the picture that you posted, it does have a nut back here that you can hold and then hit your 21 millimeter with a impact gun. Now you notice it doesn't have a 10 millimeter stud, but you don't need it because you've got your 18 millimeter back here, you're holding it, and you're hitting this with your impact. Easy, and torquing this one as well. That's why I like that design so much. And actually, I guess the one from your service manual, it looks like a cross between that Napa design I'm talking about and the OE design that doesn't have that. I guess if you took the two and combined them, that's what you would have. I am curious where this comes from. I mean, maybe it's 2015 and up. I looked at the part numbers though, and supposedly the same end links that'll fit on the 2014 and below will fit on the 2015 and up. So unless they just started putting a different design on the 2015 and up, I don't know. I don't know why that's like that. Anyway, so I did end up obviously getting this one off. I know I had some pictures in that post of this one on the car. It took me a while. I tried every kind of wrench I could find, 10, 9, 3/8. None of them would fit on there and fit well enough to hold it that I thought I could get it removed. The trick ended up being one of these cheap Harbor Freight pass-through ratchet set. The 10 millimeter from it, I was able to get on there, take a hammer. I made sure it was on there nice and tight. And then with my 21mm wrench that I had to buy separately, I was able to break it loose. Oh, that's another thing. Anybody's watching this is going to pull their own end links off. You've got to remember when you're removing this, you're going to want to tighten this stud while you're holding the nut. That's to remove it, right? Because that has the effect of spinning it the actual way, the way you want it to go. So as you can see, I'm tightening the stud, but if you see the nut, see, it's working loose. And so it'll be the opposite when you install it. You'll set the, you'll be turning the stud in a loosening direction while you're holding this. That'll have the effect of actually tightening it. Now that's if you go back with the same core design. If you've got one of the Proformers or a design like that, not the Proformer, you won't have to worry about that because you'll be holding the back side of an 18 and doing just normal with. So that's it. That's all I was trying to get across in that post or that thread. Hopefully it'll help someone.